What did Zoran Mamdani say to Trump after his win? How did Ghazala Hasmi make history in Virginia? What happened in the Bilaspur train crash? What is Rahul Gandhi's hydrogen bomb remark about? Why is India urging ethical AI at UNESCO? Whose body did the IDF receive from Gaza? What's behind the $38 billion OpenAI Amazon cloud deal? Why is Steve Smith leading in Ashes 2025? We'll discuss all these major stories in detail. Namaste and welcome to Sutra Network, your trusted link to news, views, and stories that matter. Here we'll untangle the threads of today's biggest headlines and deeper issues. Zoran Mamdani, the first Indian American and youngest ever mayor elected of New York, sent a sharp forward message to Donald Trump in his victory speech. Turn the volume up. Addressing Trump directly, Mamdani declared, "To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us." He vowed to end corruption, protect workers' rights, and ensure fair taxation for the wealthy. Mamdani emphasized that New York would be the light in political darkness and a symbol of hope against division. The Trump-backed candidate, Andrew Cuomo, was decisively defeated in the election. Born in Uganda and raised in New York, Mamdani, son of filmmaker Mira Nair and scholar Mahmoud Mamdani, became a U.S. citizen in 2018. Taking office on January 1st, 2026, he will also be the city's first Muslim mayor, marking a historic and progressive moment in New York's political landscape. Indian-born Democrat Ghazala Hasmi has become the first Muslim and Indian-origin woman elected as Virginia's lieutenant governor. Born in Hyderabad in 1964, she moved to the US at age 4 and earned a PhD in American literature from Emory University. Hashmi began her political career in 2019, defeating a Republican incumbent to join the Virginia General Assembly, a strong advocate for gun control, education, and reproductive rights. She rose to chair the Senate Education and Health Committee by 2024. Motivated by Donald Trump's travel ban, Hashmi emerged as a voice for inclusion and justice. As Lieutenant Governor, she aims to champion women's rights, affordable housing, and environmental sustainability in Virginia's future. At least 11 people were killed and 20 injured after a MEMU passenger train collided with a goods train near Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh on Tuesday evening. The impact was so severe that one coach of the passenger train climbed atop a goods wagon. Chief Minister Vishnu Deo Sai expressed grief over the tragedy and announced 5 lakh rupees compensation for the families of the deceased and 50,000 rupees for the injured. He ensured that all victims will receive free medical treatment. The accident occurred around 4 p.m. when the Gevra Bilaspur Memo train rammed into a stationary goods train in Korba district. Rescue teams quickly reached on the site and the injured were admitted to Apollo Hospital and CIMS Bilaspur. Officials have begun an inquiry into the cause of the crash. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi held a press conference in New Delhi. The event comes just ahead of the Bihar Assembly elections, stirring major political buzz. According to party sources, Gandhi made a major revelation related to alleged vote theft and irregularities in the voter list, an issue he earlier referred to as hydrogen bomb. Notably, on September 1st, Gandhi had warned the BJP, saying the Mahadevpura expose was just an atom bomb. The real hydrogen bomb is yet to come. At the time, he accused the BJP of weakening India's democracy and constitution. Although Congress has not officially disclosed the agenda of the press conference, it is believed Gandhi will elaborate on his previous allegations. The entire political sphere is closely watching his statement. At the 43rd UNESCO General Conference in Uzbekistan, India emphasized education, ethics, and equity as key pillars of its Viksit Bharat 2047 vision. Ambassador Vishal V. Sharma highlighted India's work with UNESCO on the readiness assessment methodology to ensure ethical AI deployment. He said India's $29 billion AI sector and semiconductor mission aim to build a digital self-reliance and generate over 1 million jobs by 2026. Sharma also underscored reforms in digital education through NEP, Swayam and Diksha, and announced India's hosting of the 28th Intangible Cultural Heritage Session in 2025, nominating Chhath Mahaparv for UNESCO's heritage list. The Israeli Defense Forces received a casket containing the body of a slain hostage from the Red Cross in Gaza on Tuesday. The body, reportedly collected from Hamas in Gaza City, was inspected and draped with an Israeli flag before being sent to the Abu Kabir Forensic Institute in Tel Aviv for identification. Hamas did not reveal the identity of the hostage, but claimed to have retrieved the body from Gaza City's Shizaya neighborhood. If confirmed, 7 hostages remains are still believed to be in Gaza. Israeli officials said they aim to recover all remaining bodies through coordinated efforts with intermediaries. Meanwhile, IDF troops operating in northern Gaza destroyed a Hamas tunnel stretching hundreds of meters and uncovered a rocket launch site during ongoing operations. ChatGPT maker OpenAI has signed a major 7-year cloud deal with Amazon, under which it will purchase a $38 billion worth of cloud services from the tech giant. Through this partnership, OpenAI will again access to millions of NVIDIA GPUs, making it easier to train and run advanced AI models. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman said, "Scaling frontier AI requires massive and reliable compute power, and AWS is best suited for that." The collaboration is expected to reach full capacity by the end of 2026. The deal is seen as a significant win for Amazon, strengthening its position in the AI cloud market. OpenAI has also signed similar cloud partnerships with Google, Oracle, and Microsoft, with Microsoft's deal reportedly valued at around $250 billion. Australia has announced a 15-member squad for the first test of the Ashes 2025-26 series against England. Experienced batter Marnus Labuschagne makes his return, while Sam Costas has been dropped due to poor form. Jake Weatherald has earned his maiden test call-up after an impressive domestic Sheffield Shield season. Regular captain Pat Cummins will miss the first test due to injury, with Steve Smith stepping in as captain. Chief selector George Bailey said the squad is balanced and in great form. The 31-year-old Weatherald is expected to open alongside Usman Khawaja, while Labuschagne will strengthen the top order. Josh English has been included as backup wicketkeeper. For more such global updates, subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, and do visit our website.